Nothing gets my
These ones can run. Around us. Light astral energy!
Rotating pile driver! It's over! Demon Fang!
Here! Lightning orb!
Demon Fang!
Can't get out of this!
Too fast!
Stand back! I'll trip it up.
Elusive deity!
Illuminate the
Rotating
dark!
pile
Water!
Huh? The
Not
flame
on my
inside
watch.
me! You're
I'm
thank
on a
you!
roll. Here, let me help. First aid!
I owe you one.
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
thank you.
Photon!
Demon Fang! Rotating pile driver!
Annihilation! Light astral energy!
Tornado drive!
Photon!
Sorry, but this fight ends here! Go faster!
Now, Asuna!
Right! Mega ray!
Demon Fang!
Elusive deity!
Healing
Blade!
Fury!
You're finished!
That'll bring you down!
Crescent thrust! It's time!
Demon
Now!
Fang!
Frozen!
Hammer!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Right, here goes! For my lord! Demon Fang!
Here! Illuminate the dark! Holy glimmer!
Kick it!
There!
You're
Tell me,
finished!
have you ever considered your purpose in life?
I see one, eh? Demon Fang!
Burning!
Elusive deity!
Demon Fang!
Easy and smelling to me. Yeah, and bubbling to me! Engulf you!
Holy land!
Tasted blood.
Demon Fang!
Bloody howling!
I'm all stopped up!
Its armor's too strong! It'll split it up!
Be my guest!
Calamity! Barrier! Don't suffer in silence.
Here, let me help! Supernova!
Now you see what I can do!
Force my steel!
Listen!
Demon Fang!
Steering side! Reload!
Tasted blood.
Into the shadows! Lightning! Supernova! Here!
We're not
In
finished!
the wind! Weapon ammo! Air thrust!
You're mine!
Mega ray! Annihilation!
You're mine!
Lightning orb!
You're mine!
Radiant flood! Here!
Take this! It's over!
With the earth!
I'm all stopped up!
Take it!
Annihilation! Here!
Apart!
I'll
Bloody
be
howling!
Demon Fang!
Annihilation! Steering flame! Attack! Do it! Gale force! Xeon! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Any injuries?
Coming through! Now you'll
Dance
learn!
in the wind!
I'll face you.
Here, revive!
They smite the blade. Is it too late to talk over our differences? Scream bathed in blood.
Do it!
Tearing you apart.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Light astral energy! Lightning is down! Thunder blade! Illuminate the dark!
It's over!
Holy glimmer! Holy hand! Here! Who wants to damn it? Out of ammo! Back into the fray!
I'll grind you into dust. No
Mega ray!
further.
Annihilation! Lightning condemned!
You're mine!
Thunder blade! Illuminate the dark! Come
Take
forth!
this!
Holy glimmer!
It's over!
By the power
I'm ready.
Doreen!
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis!
Could have been worse.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Mega ray! By the power of the wind! In here!
Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite.
Illuminate the dark!
Time to cross
Come forth!
blades!
Holy here's a healing art! Holy liquid!
Take this!
I say, they smite with blackened blade.
Supernova!
Negative
Healing circle! Thunder blade! Illuminate the dark!
I'll face you.
Here! Damn it! Out of ammo! Lightning orb!
You require
Sleep now!
elusive deity.
Annihilate!
Soaring blast.
You're mine! You're finished!
Not on my watch! Lunar corruption! Heal force!
Take this!
Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite.
This fight ends here! Go faster!
Now, Asuna.
Right!
Tempest.
Light astral energy! Annihilation!
Demon
Thunder
Fang!
blade!
Begin.
Fury!
Crescent flash.
Photon! Illuminate the dark! Lunar corruption!
You can't get out of this.
Gemini Aqua!
Tempest.
That'll bring you down!
Elusive deity. Eagle ray.
Thunder field!
Ignite!
Flame! Reload! Raging cascade! Gemini field!
I'm not done!
Final fury! Burning!
Take that!
Elusive deity.
It's over!
Astral energy!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Mega ray!
Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite.
Thunderbolt! Arch field! Take two!
Rending you apart. Light.
Holy heal you all!
Demon Fang!
Healing circle!
I owe you one.
I'll face you.
Pierce evil! Lightning
Resonate with the earth.
Thunderbolt!
Hold nothing back!
Come
Take
forth!
this!
Holy glimpse!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Demon Fang!
Eradicated! I'll heal you all!
This one's all
Lightning
mine!
orb! Healing circle! Raging cascade!
Demon Fang!
Execution.
Eat dirt! Here goes! Lunar corruption!
Stalagmite.
Gemini Aqua! Illuminate the dark! I'll heal you
Demon
all!
Fang!
Holy land!
Leave the charge to me.
Healing circle!
I'll grind you. Take this.
Back it up!
Sorry to trouble you.
This one!
You do the same for me.
Supernova!
Burn!
Thick as dead! Mega ray!
Bloody holiday. I'll grind you into through.
Wind astral energy! Dance in the wind! I'm out of ammo! Seal! Do it!
I'll face you.
Astral energy!
Say no more!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Bring him down!
By the power of water!
On Rising Wyvern! Rising Phoenix!
Healing art! Illuminate
I won't show you any mercy! Rising Phoenix!
Lunar corruption! By the power of water! We'll soon see about that!
Fire in the hole!
Glacial Spear! Here's evil! Light Acid Cleanser!
Take this! It's over!
Holy Flame!
It's over!
Dead from the wind!
Here I go! You're finished!
Illuminate the Dynamo! Holy Quiver! Shadow!
Pieces!
If it's in the sky, it's mine! Lightning of Rage Annihilate!
Reflection
Blackened Blade! I'll be saving this! Execution! Flame of Fury!
To everlasting
Burning Thrust! Glacial Shield!
But this fight ends here! Go faster!
Now, Asuna!
Right! Do it! Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
Go no further!
You got spirit!
No further!
Illuminate the dark! Come forward! Consume me! Not on my watch! Do it! Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Illuminate the evil!
Locked and loaded!
Holy Land! Holy Quiver! First aid! Back into the fray! Steel Force! I never miss! Like after raging
Reflect on
hurricane!
thy sins.
Heal! Flame of Fury! Maybe this one!
My shield!
Annihilation!
Abort! Mission!
Illuminate the dark! Healing circle!
I owe you one.
Holy Land!
They smite with
Destruction!
Got you!
Demon Fang! We're not finished!
Raging Storm! Razor Cyclone! Radiant here! Dance in the wind! And here goes! Lightning the dead! Healing Cyclone Tree!
Demon Fang! Demon Fang!
Now! Demons descend!
flashing fang!
Onward and upward.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for. Let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dahna. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Dahnan astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dahna's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control noodles like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master sword?
What the? Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handled the Dougal, then we kept some answers.
Exploit the enemy's
Blazing Cascade! By the power of love!
Demon Fang!
Tempest Swirl! Long Flight! Pyramid Flame of Fury! Burning Stroke! Lightning Orb! Lightning Condemned!
Demon Fang!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, Holy Glimmer! Holy Lamp! One more! Searing Flame! Reload!
Demon Fang!
Glacial Spear! Pierce Evil!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Good! Leave it to you!
Line of Fire! Lightning Condemned! Glacial Spear! Pierce Evil! Free Blazer!
Take this!
Benediction Light.
Here I come! It's over! You may be strong, but I'll never back down!
Being interrupted. Can't get out of this!
Raging Storm!
Where are you going?
You picked the wrong fight!
Raging Storm!
Darkness. Negative
Blood!
rending you apart.
I owe you one!
I can carve through armor.
Reload! Lightning Orb! Not in your dreams! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, start from death to bit. Illuminate the station! Here's a healing art! First aid! Illuminate the dark! Here! Holy land! Out of ammo!
Take this!
First aid!
Demon Fang! Right there! Fiber! Explosive ray!
Illuminate the dark! Annihilate!
Demon Fang!
Holy land!
Ready to go! Take that! Elusive deity!
Tempest Swirl!
Hitting Fire Fiber! Demon Fang!
Dance in the wind! By the power of water! I'll be saving this one! I'll cover you!
Heal!
Thanks! Cover! Just hard that'll bring you down! I can do this all day!
Take this!
Lunar corruption! Not on my watch!
I can carve through armor! Deny!
Here's the raging cascade!
Elusive deity!
Friend!
Away.
Power of water! Lightning condense!
From the wind!
Thunder healing art!
Easter!
Do it! Now! Astral energy!
Say no more! Benediction light. Heal!
Raging storm!
Demon Fang!
Hey! Just what I needed! It's weekend!
This ends now!
Air to the
Demon Fang!
Dance in the wind! Air
You're
to
mine! It's gonna attack!
Right,
Demon
watch out!
Fang! Demon Fang! Try harder!
By the power of water! Let astral energy dance in the wind!
Demon
Air thrust!
Glacial Spear!
Here's the evil!
Demon Fang!
Blaze Blazer! Holy land!
I'll thank you!
Hamming!
Elusive deity!
Burning strike! Glacial Spear! Pierce evil! Blaze Blazer!
Armor won't save you! I can't get out of this!
Here goes! Photon Slash! Not on my watch! Healing from... Where are you going?
I owe you elusive deity!
Lightning raging annihilation! Hear me, Flamer!
Ignite! And more of this won't burn out!
Raging storm! Mega ray!
Demon Fang!
Mega ray! Raging storm! Lunar eruption! One more! Water!
I could do without Tank! Demon Fang! Blind you into dust!
Puddle! Mega ray!
Resonate with
Ready to go!
Demon Fang! On your...
Leap now! Into the shadow! Over the stockpile! Photon Slash! Lunar corruption! A new lease on life! Right up! There! Down with the power! Get back into the fray! I won't give up!
Stay away from my...
Raging cascade! I didn't think you had it in you.
Focus. There'll be time to congratulate you later.
Nothing much I can say to that.
Somebody help! Holy glimmer! First aid!
Resonate with the earth!
Glacial spear! Here's evil! Primed and ready! Raging cascade!
Bloody hell! This one's all mine!
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar!
On your... Demon Fang!
It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
Elusive deity! Photon Opera!
Demon Fang!
Benediction light.
There! Opposite! Mega Ray! Annihilation! Mega Ray!
Demon Fang!
Benediction light.
I'll pick you up! Recover! Hit! Lunar
Here I
corruption!
come! Elusive death! It's over!
By the power of water!
Benediction light.
You're mine!
Dance in the wind! Air coming! Photon!
Another incantation ruined.
Take this!
Healing this world!
Thanks!
Sorry, Spark.
You do the same for me. In here!
Elusive deity!
I'll be saving this one! Here, let me help!
It's over! Begin!
Deal
Demon
first!
Fang!
More with that
Death on the wind!
raging cascade! Pierce evil! Sleep now!
Benediction
More for the
light.
tactile!
You're finished!
Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more!
Now it's just her! Faria, can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almeidrea. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already passed, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her. It reminds me of Shionne's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure!
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
We still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way. Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens. I'm determined to save Shion and Dana. Nothing I learn can change that. Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
I think I can make this work.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records, by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Danan astral energy, so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Danan. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign?
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Cores. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique Adjustment Index, Generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique Adjustment Index, Generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new Sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 Sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest. It's all lies, including the part about the Sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a Sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign, and Volron as well. The significance of this location would suggest...
Hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
Naori,
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Rena never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
Naori...
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lenegis will be nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try. I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Alphen.
That vision. It must have been from when Naori helped Alphen escape Lenegis.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one agonizing decision Naori made to save your life.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me. It made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memories and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
Place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course. After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Renis Alma was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
The Renis Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori.
What is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegis itself? But then, everything that's been happening...
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. The Renis Alma was lost, and Alphen, the Sovereign, was in a starship bound for Dana. My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden, to buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted, and for a new Sovereign to appear. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse on to my descendants as well. Please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat too. I only wish that there was something more I could have done.
Wait, you can't just...
Naori.
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Dahnan voice speaking through her?
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
Locating the Renis Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Xion, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori's suggesting?
It makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a Maiden and Sovereign. Now all we need is the Renis Alma, and we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Xion.
It's possible? You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
I know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance, even though I know the world's still in great peril. It's selfish of me, I know, but still.
No, it isn't. You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Rinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you. Naori entrusted us with the fate of all humanity. Now, it's up to us to prove that trust was well placed.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Renis Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah, we can protect the world and save Xion at the same time.
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renan lore is bound to be a useful asset.
And they say modesty is dead.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Xion. You included. Now let's get moving, shall we? Last I heard, we had an apocalypse to stop. Thank you, Naori. So Naori sealed away the power that made me lose control of myself. She stopped my rampage and saved my life. But then, that power she'd sealed away was passed down to you. I'm so sorry, Shion. It's my fault that you're cursed.
You're wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony and Naori's attempt to stop Oblivion. You paid a heavy price for it, and then fell asleep for 300 years. The reason you lost your memories
is the reason for your curse.
The thorns.
It all leads back to them. But once they're gone, we can finally put an end to all this.
When my thorns are gone, I never dared to dream that such a thing could be possible. No. The truth is, I think maybe I've always been dreaming about a life without my thorns. The touch of my family, or playing with my friends, holding hands with Rinwell, or giving Law a deserved smack, embracing everyone. All the normal things that people do together. I always wished I could experience them for myself, and finally know what they were like. Is it really okay for me to believe it can happen? I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. What if it doesn't work out in the end, and...
That's not going to happen. I'm here to make sure it won't. Forget fate or destiny or anything else. We're going to live a normal life. There are a lot of things you still want to do, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's such a strange feeling. I know that we've still got plenty of fighting up ahead, and it's for my sake, so I can live.
You're worth fighting for.
I believe you, Alphen.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. For as long as it takes. Until our future is finally in our hands.
That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Renis Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
After everything we've been through to get here, they damn well better be.
We'll probably be needing you to open this one for us, Sovereign.
Go for it, Alphen.
This is it, guys. Time to see what secrets are in store.
Volron!
really was still alive.
And there's the Renis Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony?
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself, reduced to a mere cog in a machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
It looks like it's still running, but... are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
But for what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Renis Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alphen, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible? What is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't be. Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling particularly talkative.
It's no use, Alphen. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand. Rising Wyvern!
Resonate with the
Rising
earth!
Phoenix!
Stalagmite!
Lightning orb!
Another incantation ruined!
Thunder blade! Illuminate the
Can't get out of this!
Come forth, holy glimmer! I never miss! Holy lance!
Ignite!
Confiscated! Searing flame!
Far enough!
Elusive deity! I can carve through armor! Rotating fire!
Radiant storm! Blows! Lunar corruption! Gemini aqua! Thunder field! Ray! Raging cascade! Sleep now.
I owe you
I'll
one.
be saving this one. Hear me!
Destruction!
Fury! Now is that Blazer spear! Instant lightning condemn!
Demon
Freeze
Thunder!
Thunder! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer!
On your knees!
Healing circle!
I owe you one.
Bathed in blood!
Demon Fang! Demon Fang!
Our arts are being interrupted!
Lightning orb! Again to the wind!
Burn in hell!
I'll be saving this
Demon
one!
Fang!
Take it! Does it hurt? Tempt it!
Healing circle!
Take
Good
this!
roll! More where that came
Rotating
from!
pile driver!
Lightning! Powerful! I'm out of ammo!
Elusive deity! Rotating pile driver!
Graviton
Benediction
field!
light!
Here I come! Is this it?
Don't give up! Here I go! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Seismic rupture! Crescent flash!
Not done
On
yet!
your knees!
Chinese supernova! Radiant cascade! First aid!
Demon Fang!
Raging storm!
Demon Fang!
Heal!
Thanks so
You're
much!
mine!
Lunar illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer!
Here I come!
Here's a healing arm!
It's over!
It's first aid! Tunnel!
Demon Fang!
Lunar corruption! By the power of water!
Elusive deity!
Rotating pile driver!
Here's a healing arc! First aid! Dance in the wind!
Rending you a
Field.
bloody howling!
I'm only getting started! Photon! Lightning condemn! Here's a healing arc!
Demon Fang!
Illuminate the dark! Cut forth! Holy glimmer! Holy land!
I'll grind you into dust! Take this! I'll thank you! Here I come!
Healing circle! Supernova!
The flame inside me yearns to be let
Dance
free!
in the wind! Sleep now, not in your dreams! Let me help. Where are you going?
They smite with
Illuminate the
blackened
dark!
blade!
Come forth! Holy glimmer! Holy land!
Execution! Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite!
Here's a healing arc! Come forth!
Kyoya will take this!
Lightning condemned! Thunderblade!
Resonate with the earth! Ignite! Stalagmite!
Raging cascade! I'll be saving this one!
Take this! Everlasting dark!
I'm sorry to trouble you.
You do the same for me!
Here I come! It's over! Elusive deity! You're my... Ready and ready! Sorry, but this fight ends here! Just go faster! Now, Asuna!
Right!
Nothing gets by me!
Glacial Spear! Here's evil! Freeze Lancer!
Demon Fang! Now it's my turn!
Arc Seal!
Heal!
Lightning Condemned! Thunderblade! Illuminate the reload! Come down! Holy Glimmer! Holy Land!
Seismic Rupture!
Healing
Rising
Circle!
Wyvern! I owe you one!
Watch and weep! Here!
Take this! Demon
Raging Storm! Glacial Spear! Here's evil! Photon! Lightning Condemned! Lancer!
Elusive It's over! Eagle Ray! You're mine!
Annihilation! Mega Ray!
Resonate with the
Lightning Arc!
earth!
Raging Cascade! Radiant Light!
Sleep now! Rending your
I'll
heart!
heal you
Bloody
all.
howling!
Here's a healing arc!
Try this! Explosive ring! Seismic Rupture! Dragon Swarm! On your knees!
Lunar Corruption! Lightning Orb!
Air Festival!
Benediction.
Dragon Swarm!
Mega Ray! Raging
You've too much.
Explosive ring!
What in the world? Dohalim! I'm all right.
Here's a healing arc!
I'm still standing.
I won't give up!
You!
Hit!
Stay away from my friend!
Close one! I can't lose! Lunar Corruption! Dance in the wind! Gemini Aqua! Field!
This should do it! Elusive deity!
Here, let me help. First aid! Primed and ready.
Demon Fang!
Lightning Orb! More where that came from. Lunar Corruption!
Can you take it?
Demon
Take
Aqua!
this! Time
I'll
to
be
rage!
ready! Searing Flare! Triple Punch!
Demon
I'm out of ammo! down. Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy Glimmer! Back into the fray! Holy Lantern!
Dragon Form! Dragon Form!
Raging
Dragon! Explosive Ring! I can do without this pain. Demon Fang!
Here's my healing art! Raging confiscated!
Bathed in blood.
First aid!
Rending. You are part. There!
Lightning of raging cascade!
This should do it!
Here!
Heal!
Insect
Demon Fang!
First aid!
Thanks! Seismic Rupture!
Glacial
Demon
Damage!
Wing!
Evil! Air thrust! Ice blast all day!
Take this! It's over!
Thunder
I'll blind you into dust! It's over!
Glacial spear!
Take it! Take it! You're mine!
If it's in the sky, it's
Demon Fang!
Lightning
Demon Fang!
Thunder blast!
Demon Fang!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth!
Demon Fang!
Captivity! Lunar corruption!
Try this! Elusive Deity!
Lightning all raging
Explosive Ring!
cascade! Lightning! In here!
I'll Dragon Form! Seismic Rupture!
Lightning orb!
Explosive Ring!
Lightning condemned! Ready!
No further!
I'll heal it!
You picked the wrong fight! Tempest!
Where are you going? Tempest! Not dream! Will this help?
Captivity!
Illuminate the dark! Come forward! I'll fix you up! Sorry!
You paid for that!
Bring you back from death's abyss!
Instinct sharpened!
Resuscitation!
Heal!
I'll fix you up! I still got some fight left.
I owe you one!
Lightning condemned!
Elusive Deity!
Illuminate the dark! I'm out of ammo! Come forth! Holy Glimmer! Holy Land! By the power of water! Mega
Take
Ray!
this!
Gemini Aqua! Lightning condemned!
Demon Fang!
Let me hold!
Demon Fang! The frozen heart! Bloody hell! Be let free! Demon Fang!
Lightning! Chinese! Here's a healing art!
Demon Fang!
Nothing gets by me! Flame of fury! Burning!
Resonate with the earth!
Here's the evil! Take the wind! Breeze Lancer! In here!
That's it! Forgive me. This is my fault.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss! Ready!
Heal!
Resuscitation!
Glacial
Glacial Spear!
Demon Fang!
Breeze Lancer! Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Here, let me help! Photon! Illuminate the dark! Hear me!
Demon
Flame
Fang!
of fury! Burning! Wait now! Glacial Frozen!
Hammer!
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
Astral energy.
Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alphen!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much. So you know this place? Naturally. It was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart. Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me? You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital... reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean... Voron was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a
slave from Dana. Just like us. Isn't that right, Volron?
So he posed as a Renan and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Dana are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
A red woman?
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Let's... You can't stay here!
We need to go! Outfit!
I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law! I am...
Are you two okay?
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Is Volron... have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Those red women. What the heck was their deal?
Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers in Faria in a trance?
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renaissalma. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renaissalma in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
But seriously, I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Renans or Danans.
Yeah, not in a good way like with us.